Hey, what's going on, cats and chicks out there? You know, it is D-Man the Greaser. And this is part number 2 of my Los Angeles trip, or known as Los Angeles. If you know that movie, comment below. By the way, it's the Big Lebowski. Anyway, I guess you can call me an LA woman. I mean, LA man. It's 2023. It's getting weird out there. Anyway, so let's talk about part number 2. This is compiled. This took me a while to edit, and I apologize for the little wait because this was probably the biggest one that I was doing for this entire trip for this video. And you know, I try to get all the footage of me at Norman's Rare Guitars, you know, Walk of Fame. You know, it was a kind of a difficult video to make. You know, half of it had to do with the rain, as you see, like when I'm there at these, like there at Hollywood Boulevard or the Hollywood Strip, whatever you want to call it. You know, me walking there in where all the stars are at, and yeah, it's just like it was just pouring that day, so it was kind of hard to film at the same time, and my dad kind of interrupting half the time. I love you, Dad, if you're watching. Yeah, no, it was a difficult process to film, but also edit. But I hope you guys enjoy this video. It took me a while to edit and compile these videos together. You know, I kind of want to talk about me at Norman's Rare Guitars here in a little bit. So yeah. So let's start off with Norman's Rare Guitars. Well, actually, no. Let's start off with the Los Angeles Firefighter Museum. And I did not get any footage of that. I didn't film or anything, and yeah. And so, what's so significant about this museum, this firefighter museum, or you know, this firehouse museum, was actually, so there was this show back in the 70s that my dad absolutely loves, and I say loves because he still loves it to this day, and it was called Emergency 51. And this was like a film, or not a film, this was a TV show back in the 1970s. And it kind of was the show of why we have paramedics today, you know. Because before then, it was like, you know, yeah, they had ambulances, but they weren't really paramedics. So they weren't like firefighter. It was like there was only one set. There was firefighters and the medics. And yeah, but what's cool about the show, they actually have firefighters that were also paramedics, you know, that kind of, yeah, you get the point. So we kind of checked that museum out because they had the 2 fire engines from that show. They had like the 1 truck from the show. They had the main fire engine and 1 other vehicle, and yeah. And we also kind of stopped by where they actually shot the show at, which was actually filmed in a fire station there in LA, and which is like kind of close by and kind of near Compton as well, so that's fun. But yeah, it was a good time, and my dad was kind of all giddy with that. You know, personally, I never really watched the show. You know, I watched like bits of it with my dad, but it just was a show that I was never personally into, or you know, like never like really had the time to watch it, which I will pretty soon. So don't you haters comment me on that, but I understand why he was so giddy, and it is cool like that these guys kind of were the inspiration of like paramedics who are pretty much our heroes. So yeah. Anyway, so that was the first part. And unfortunately, again, I did not get any clips of it. I didn't film it or anything. But I could tell you about Norman's Rare Guitars. So as a lot of you guys know, I'm a huge, massive guitar fan. You know, I played guitar. I've been playing since I was like 7, 8 years old. And so back when I was so backstory is back when I was like I think either a freshman or a 8th grader. So I was like, you know, I was really new on Instagram, and you know, I was following a lot of the guitar guys. You know, I was following a lot of these like guitar content stuff, and I happened to scroll upon a video of Guitar of the Day, and I was like, ooh, this is cool. You know, I was watching. So at the time, it was Mark Agnesi was working there, and he was doing the Guitar of the Day. And you know, I saw him like he was like talking about like some vintage rare guitar from the 50s or so. You know, he played amazing on it. He was kind of showcasing it, and I was like, huh. I wonder. I was like thinking, and I kind of saw on the Instagram page, it was called Norman's Rare Guitars. And I was just like wondering, I wonder where that guitar shop is, because I saw part of the video. It was like, it looked like a massive guitar shop. I was like thinking, that's a cool guitar shop. I wonder where that is. And I kind of found out it was in LA, and so yeah. And ever since then, you know, I've seen Norman's Rare Guitars. I was like, okay, this is really cool, you know. Seeing celebrities walk in, you know, seeing different tours of people walking around the store, and I'm just like thinking, man, that place is massive, as you see in my one clip. And I was just like, you know, that's a bucket list I want to go see and check out and play, and you know, whatever. And so, you know, so every time my dad and I, or my folks and I, were trying to like plan to go to LA, you know, and that was like my main goal. Like when we had plans to go to LA, was I wanted to see Norman's Rare Guitars really bad. And every time we made trips to Norman's Rare Guitars, it was either, well, last year we were supposed to go, but I ended up getting COVID. And then 2 years ago we were supposed to go in the fall. Then my dog got sick and we couldn't go. And yeah, it was just like, it was a lot of mishaps that happened. And finally I did go like a couple weekends ago, and fortunately enough I did get to go into Norman's Rare Guitars. Now I did not get a whole lot of footage or a lot of clips of me in Norm's. However, my dad did film me, and I apologize if the videos are a little bit blurry, but yeah, my dad did take a couple videos of me playing a couple of guitars. One was a 1955 or 1954 ES 175, and one was I think it was like a 50. It was either made in the Martin there that you saw. It was either made in the 50s or I believe in the 40s, maybe 30s. Anyway, you've seen the video. You'll see the video pretty soon. But yeah, you know, I got to play a little bit, but the thing is, sorry guys, the video kind of cut out on me for a little bit. Anyway, so back to the story. So Michael Lemo, he plugs me up to this guitar amp that he was going to use for Guitar Day, and my dad and I, we walked in kind of right, I think around maybe 30 minutes when it opened, like maybe at noon. And unfortunately we did have to wear masks because, well, apparently it's because Norm had some surgery, which was true, he did. But yeah, it's California, what do you expect? Anyway, besides the point. So Michael Lemo, he plugs me up to the guitar amp, and he puts me on a good setting where I can hear myself and actually can play. And he wanted to hear me play as well too, because he was curious. Because he was a guy who was like, you know, who's a greaser, or at the time I wasn't wearing my leather. You know, I wasn't wearing the greaser at the time. It was more the pet look. Anyway, like besides the point. So he was kind of curious of like how it sounded, because you know, here's a guy who probably is most likely. And I said to him, I usually play like rockabilly or blues, and so he's kind of curious of how I sound. And so he hooks me up, and the Fender amp that he hooked me up to was from, I think it was also from the 50s or the 60s, and it was a beautiful amp, beautiful sounding too. So I started playing, and the Stray Cats. I played some rockabilly, some like Sun Records kind of era stuff, and yeah. But where he actually plugged me at was kind of where the couch was, or kind of where, yeah, like one of the couches, whatever, that you've seen. So, and right across from me, or right next to me, was Norman. And Norman was kind of, well, I was sitting on a stool. I didn't sit on the couch, but I did sit on the couch when I was playing that acoustic there. But, so right across from me, I was sitting on this leather stool, whatever. And right across from me was Norman. And, you know, he was just sitting there like this, you know, he was just chilling, you know, kind of, you know, talking to Jen, you know, who kind of films for them, and, you know, he's kind of talking to everybody, kind of. And he kind of notices me, and, you know, I kind of talked to him a little bit, saying, yeah, I told him, like, you know, I've always been wanting to come to the store. It's always been a bucket list of mine. And he's like, oh, that's nice to hear. And, yeah, and like we were kind of talking. I told him like my big influences were like Scotty Moore, you know, all the guitar players from the 50s, or you know, blues and guitars, or I mean rockabilly guys in the 50s. And I was kind of talking to him about that. He's like, oh yes, you know, I was really into that too when I was a kid. So yeah, you know, I dig it, blah blah blah. And we were kind of just talking back and forth, and he asked me like where I was from. I told him Tucson, Arizona. He says, oh yeah, I've got a buddy from Tucson. And I was like, oh cool. So I started playing. He was digging it. Unfortunately, they didn't get me on film. I was literally about to ask Jen, the lady there, who does the filming, and say, hey, how do I get on the video there? And I didn't say anything. I wanted to, but I don't know what's the criteria is there. Anyway. Besides the point, I was kind of stupid in not asking. So yeah, you know, and I could tell Norm was like kind of jamming out to what I was playing. He was like, wow, that's good. Yeah, it's kind of like, he kind of had that feeling, and he was just really vibing to it. And yeah, and so, and that day when I was there, that was the Saturday after Lisa Marie Presley and the great Jeff Beck passed away. And you know, a couple of guys were talking to Norm, and you know, he was talking about some stories of him and Jeff Beck, and he said, and I kind of asked Norm too, saying if he ever sold any guitars to Jeff Beck, and he says, yes, but it was actually indirectly. I'm like, oh, okay. So it's kind of cool, like just hearing that about those stories. And you know, also I kind of know about Norm. He was good friends with Tom Petty and George Harrison, and yeah. So yeah. Anyway. So back to Norm's. So I put down the Gretsch, and I saw that one ES 175 that y'all saw, and it's kind of like very similar to what Scotty Moore used to play, but it wasn't the exact one. I was gonna ask if they did, but they didn't. Ooh, my necklace broke off. Anyway. Getting distracted. So I found that guitar that you saw in the clip where I was playing the Stray Cats, and I plugged it in, or they plugged it in for me, which was pretty cool. And yeah, and sooner or later I got off because you know because they were filming Guitar of the Day, and it was actually a really good Guitar of the Day. If you guys want to see that Guitar of the Day, I'll post a link down in my description below. So, and you know, Michael Emma was doing this thing where he was like talking about the guitar that he was playing, and you know, he's playing some Jeff Beck, and you know, paying tributes to both Lisa Marie and Jeff Beck as well. And so, if you guys watching the clip very closely, and you know, so if you're actually watching the YouTube clip, which I will leave a description below, and I'll probably leave in the time link where I'm at. Right in the video, you can actually see me where I was at. So when he was playing, and I kind of purposely did it, but also was looking at legitimately looking at some of the Fender Strats and the Gibson or the Les Pauls they had, and so right in the back there, you can kind of see me. Like, you know, I was wearing a black collared shirt, DA is pretty much there. I had the pompadour and everything. And yeah, and if you guys are asking, did they say anything to you? Were they trying to kick you off, like, just for being there? No. I mean, there's other guys too if you see the actual video, but yeah. So yeah. And yeah, you know, I kind of talked to the other guys, and I talked to Michael, you know, he was talking about, like, for one of the songs that he played, like one of the Jeff Beck songs that he played, which was Beck's Bolero. And I told him that was like the first Jeff Beck song that I played too, because he mentioned in the video saying, oh, this is my first Jeff Beck song that I ever learned. And like right when he was done with the video, of course, like when they were done filming, I told him, saying also, which is true, I know how to play that song, and I told him that was my first Beck song as well. And he's like, oh wow, that's so cool. And I kind of told him what I kind of listened to, and yeah. And you know, he was actually really cool. You know, everybody was actually really nice. You know, they were a little bit hoity-toity, but you know, you have to understand their demographic that they sell guitars to, you know, which are like celebrities, like really high-end players, and you know. But at the end of the day, they were actually really cool guys, and yeah. So yeah, and right before we left, my dad and I left the store, I had to get myself a Norman's Red Guitar t-shirt, which I'll probably have a video or have a picture of me with it right here. And if you actually see the guitar or Norman's Rare Guitar t-shirt. So if anybody has seen the movie, this is Spinal Tap. It's like kind of a parody of like kind of making fun of like rock and roll bands or whatever. And so there's actually a clip in the movie where Nigel, the guitar player, was actually wearing the Norman's Rare Guitar t-shirt. And again, Norman has been doing this business for nearly 50 years. And actually, fun little fact, Norm actually lended guitars to that movie set. And like lended all the guitars that they use in the movie for that movie. And so they wore like so Nigel kind of wore like the brown Norman's Rare Guitar t-shirt as you saw him. And that was kind of what you're pretty much seeing. And the reason why I bought that one, because they had the picture like right next to it of like just like showing what kind of shirt what it was from the movie. So I was like, oh, I need to get like the exact shirt. So I got the brown shirt, and yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, so that was Norman's Rare Guitars. So right after Norman's Rare Guitars, my dad and I, we kind of were getting hungry because it was like probably 1 o'clock or 12:30 in the afternoon. Yeah, it's probably like around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we were kind of hungry. We wanted to get some lunch. And my dad and I, so a friend of mine from here in Tucson who grew up in LA when he was a kid, he told me about this like really good chili burger or chili dog like fast food joint called Tommy's. So my dad and I, we kind of got some Tommy's as well. And funny thing was that there was actually a homeless guy that was like literally passed out in the restaurant. It kind of got to the point where the employees had to call the cops to just kick this guy out. And luckily, this guy kind of, unfortunately enough, and I wish the cops kind of showed up and kicked him out themselves. But luckily enough, there was no violence that happened. The homeless guy kind of woke up and he kind of left the restaurant. To be honest with you guys, LA, there's a lot of homelessness, like homeless camps, like literally, like for blocks, man. Yeah. So yeah, so we had some chili burgers, and they're actually really good. And, yeah. So I recommend going to Tommy's, and you can really only find them in LA, and I think you can find them in Vegas, but LA is like the best place to find Tommy's. So, yeah. Anyway, so after Tommy's, my dad and I then decided to go to the Walk of Fame, Hollywood Boulevard Strip, whatever it is, and I wanted to see a few stars, which I'll leave a clip for you and do some videos for you of me going to Walk of Fame. Roll 'em! You guys dig that? Yeah, I hope you dig it, and I hope you dig this video. And make sure to like, subscribe, comment my channel. I'll make part 3 pretty soon as well. I don't know when that's going to be released, but yeah, part 3 is going to be coming out pretty soon. And yeah, like make sure to go follow my Instagram. You can follow me on TikTok, find me on Facebook or Snapchat, whatever. Of course, again, like I said, like, subscribe, comment my channel, and share this video. And I'll see you on the next video. Dig it. Hey, what's going on, cats and chicks out there? You know it is D-Man the Greaser, and this is day number 2 here in LA. And today, well, my dad and I were going up to Hollywood. Yes, D-Man in Hollywood. Ooh, imagine that. We're gonna go to the Griffith Observatory, where or actually one of my favorite movies of all time, Rebel Without a Cause, was filmed at. So we're gonna go to that site and go inside the observatory. Also, we're also gonna go into the famous Norman's Rare Guitars. So keep an eye on that for that clip. And yeah, we're also gonna go see a firehouse or a firefighter museum, whatever it's called, and it's gonna be in Compton. So. Well, if someone wants to pick up a Rumble, well, I'm ready for a Rumble, even if it's in Compton. But yeah, we're just gonna go chill, hang out in LA, and yeah. So catch y'all later. I'll probably see you guys, or you'll probably see me at the Griffith Observatory or Norman's. So yeah. And also, on a serious note, you know, yes, I know I haven't been on YouTube in a while. I haven't made a video since like November and December. You know, I've just been really busy with my work, and yeah, I just haven't had really a whole lot of time to do a lot of YouTube. But you know, when it comes to New Year's, you know, I'm not a guy that believes in like New Year's resolutions, because you know, when you make resolutions over the New Year's, it's like you always tend to break them. You know, you never keep those promises. But you know, but you can always just learn from like past.
Well, it took my baby, it's
So the couple of stars we're going to see on the Hall of Fame here are, we're going to see like James Dean's, Elvis Presley's, Johnny Cash, Jerry Lee Lewis, and all different other guys. So yeah. So yeah, it's funny though too. Like every time I'm, pretty much the entire time walking down here, I just can't think of helping with like I can't think of helping like this reminds me of like a lot of GTA 5. So man, I think I'm gonna get like the Gatling gun or the RPG and just start blowing stuff up. But yeah. And to be honest, the Holly weirdos are pretty much Holly weirdos. Complaining about rich people shit. Rich people problems. You know. I know some people like getting some eye about, you know, being a greaser. Yep, that's the price of being a rebel. And here we go. Let's go to Hollywood Boulevard. We go see some signs of different people.
Get me a mojo hand. I'm going down to Louisiana. Get me a mojo hand. Well, you can do anything you can. I got my mojo working. 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 Just don't work on you. Mojo working. Mojo working. Mojo working. Mojo. Now blue ain't the word for the way that I feel, and the storm
mean, don't you, woman? Well, you ain't nothing but a bear cat. Been scratching at my door. You ain't nothing but a bear cat. Been scratching at my door. You can purr, pretty kitty, but I ain't gonna rub you no more. You said you was a long hair, but I can see through that. You said you was a long hair, but I can see through that. And mama, I know you just an old bear cat. You ain't nothing but a bear cat. Been scratching at my door. Ain't nothing but a bear cat. Been scratching at my door. You can purr, pretty kitty, but I ain't gonna rub you no more. Oh, rub ya. Oh, get with it now. Get it, get it, get it, get it. Oh, listen to that old cat. Stop. Ah, tip it, Miss Kitty. Tip it, honey. Tip it. Hey. Now look here, honey. You made me feel so mean. Made me moan and groan. You made me feel so mean. You made me moan and groan. You ain't wanting no man. You just looking for old soup bone. You ain't nothing but a bear cat. Been scratching at my door. You just an old bear cat. Been scratching at my door. You can purr, pretty kitty, but I ain't gonna rub you no more.
Please tell me you really care. If you're true, then just play fair. I know I'll mean it as long as I live, but first you must learn to take and to give. Then someday there's sure to be a place called heaven for you and me. I promise you my everything, my heart, my love, my every dream. If you're true, then I'll love you. But until then, what will I do? Please tell me everything's alright. You're the one to hold me tight.
me you're working so hard. Cause I got a woman in the boss man yard. Yeah, my bucket's got a hole in it. Yeah, my bucket's got a hole in it. Yeah, my bucket's got a hole in it. Oh, 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 yeah. scene when I saw it land. Cats jumped out and they formed a band. My thoughts of rock and roll. My thoughts of rock and roll. I couldn't understand things they said about that crazy beat just to stop me dead. Rocking and rolling to the crazy flats. They brought out a sax and they started to blow. They brought out the drums and they started to roll. My thoughts of rock and roll. My thoughts of rock and roll. I couldn't understand the thing they said about that crazy beat just to stop me dead. They were 3 foot high, they had a few bars, they brought a rock and roll all the way from Mars. My thoughts of rock and roll, my thoughts of rock and roll. I couldn't understand the thing they said about that crazy beat just to stop me dead.
Well, Mona Lisa, man, I've named you. You're so like the lady with a mystic smile. Is it only 'cause you're lonely you haven't named you? For that Mona Lisa strangeness in your smile. Well, do you smile to tempt the lover, Mona Lisa? Or is this a way to hide a broken heart? Are you warm? Are you real, Mona Lisa? Just a cold and lonely, lovely work of art.
So, and the song. Go in there, and it's really cool. Great looking.
Well, in a villa in a little old Italian town lives a girl whose beauty shames a rose. Many dreams have been brought to her, but they all tumble down. What does she want? Nobody knows.
Here's a great legend, B.B. King himself. Absolutely my favorite guitar player. Very inspired by him. So yeah.
Is it only 'cause you're lonely they haven't named you? For that Mona.
Here's my favorite president. Oh yeah. The good old Donald Trump. Oh yeah.
Or is this the way to hide a broken heart? Are you warm? Are you real, Mona Lisa? Or just a cold and lonely, lovely work of art? Or just a cold and lonely, lovely work of art? Or just a cold and lonely, lovely work of art?
Hollywood.
Mr. John Belushi, one of the Blues Brothers. And here we are, my favorite actor. You're tearing me apart! This is Beep-Bop-A-Lula. Marlon Brando, The Wild One, and The Godfather. The greatest guitar player of the 50s, Chuck Berry.
Oh, there's Buddy Holly. Okay.
There it is, Mr. Buddy Holly himself. Oh yeah. How's it going, everybody? You know it is D-Man the Greaser, and I forgot to mention in the video. So I said before that I was trying to look for Elvis Presley Star of Fame, and from what the Star of Fame website says, he does have a star. He has a star. But when we were there in that exact location where my dad and I were, it looks like they probably were moving it somewhere. But yeah, we couldn't find the star anywhere, so that's live. So yeah. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment my channel, all that stuff. And please, I mean this is probably my longest video out of my entire channel. So you better like this and you better follow and subscribe. So yeah, take care.